Hey, everybody, we're live once again on a Thursday. It's time for another live mic live stream here on the Modeling with Mike channel on YouTube. Welcome to looks like just Jan right now. Welcome, Jan. Uh, start as usual with the results from 2 weeks ago, the poll from 2 weeks ago, because uh, last week, if you remember right, we just had a ask or talk whatever you want to talk about type of show. But the last poll from 2 weeks ago was, can you still be a scale modeler on a fixed income? And the answer was yes, 100%, and no, got no love at all at 0%, which is pretty much the way I expected. So, tonight, today, for some of you it's tonight, but today/tonight, we're tackling one of the most controversial topics in scale modeling. Are cheap airbrushes actually worth it, or do they cause more headaches? So, let's start by talking about some cheap airbrush characteristics. Number one, the materials and the machining are subpar compared to premium airbrushes. Number two, the nozzle and needle tolerances are a lot less compared to premium. Number three, the trigger feel and consistency is not the same as premium. It's a lot more loosey goosey. Number four, and this is a big one, they have inconsistent quality control in their production. And number five, since their materials and machining are below standard, you have frequent part failures. So let's talk about some premium airbrush characteristics. Number one, they have precision machining. Number two, they have consistency between units. Unit number one in a run is going to be the same as unit 1000. And number three, you have reliable parts availability. When you need a part, you go to their website, it's going to be there. Number four, much better customer support. Now let's talk about the pros of cheap airbrushes. Number one, they're at an extremely affordable entry point. Some are as cheap as $15. Number two, it's less intimidating for beginners. Number three, they're easy to replace because of the cheap cost point. Number four, they're great for harsh paints, primers, and varnishes. Mushy once down. Number five, they're perfect for experimentation and learning because if you screw it up, you can always get another one. Okay, and some cons for cheap airbrushes. Number one, nozzle clogs. Number two, sticking triggers. Number three, poor atomization. Excuse me. Number four, unpredictable results. Number five, parts that don't fit or break easily. We just covered that. Number six, short lifespan. Those two are due to the lower grade materials that are used. Let's talk about when a cheap airbrush is worth it. If you're an absolute beginner, I mean you've never touched an airbrush before, get a cheap one. Number two, kids or family members trying the hobby. Get a cheap one. You don't want to spend $80 on an airbrush if you're going to find out you hate the hobby. Then you're just stuck with an airbrush just sitting there. uh, Number three, secondary airbrush for varnishes and primers. The cheap airbrushes are great for that. Number four, terrain or model scenery painting. Number five, travel or away from home hobbying. They're great for that too. Number six, limited budgets or fixed incomes. And when is a cheap airbrush not worth it? Number one, if you're doing micro detail freehand or anything freehand, you don't want a cheap airbrush for that. If consistency matters more than price, oh yeah, you don't want a cheap airbrush. If you want longevity and reliability, hell yeah, you want a more expensive airbrush. If you paint frequently, yes. If constant clogs drive you crazy, absolutely. Now, let's go to the cost over time. These factors. Number one, you're going to pay more for a cheap airbrush every 6 or 12 months versus one premium airbrush that's going to last you 5, 10 years. You know, by the time that 5, 10 years up, if you're using a cheap airbrush, you're going to probably surpass the cost of that premium. Replacement part costs. Again, due to the lower level of materials and machining, those parts are going to break more often. You're going to keep buying replacements all the time. Lost time due to clogs and repairs. Self-explanatory there. And you have paint waste from inconsistent spray. More paint waste you have, the more paint you're going to buy. So, that's my little spiel for today. Let's go to the chat and see who's all here now. Jan says evening. Evening, Jan. Michael Lambertino says howdy. Howdy, Michael. How's everything in Philly? Chet. Hey. Chet says Mikey Moosey. Live long and prosper and don't call me Mikey. Michael Lambertino says, I go all in. I never buy cheap in anything, especially with tools. Can cause more headaches. You get what you pay for. True, but you got to remember, Michael, not everybody has the money to go all in. You got to remember that. That's why I made this channel. For people like that. Jan says, I only got 2 Harder Steenbeck's Evolution with 4 centimeter extensions. But I've heard good things about Fengda and other Iwata clones. Not sure where galleries belong. I sort of put galleries. They're not quite premium. They're a very quality airbrush at a entry-level price. Let's put it that way. Especially if you're dealing with the GH8039. Jan also says Fengda 180 series are less than 30 dollars, pounds, etc., and seem to be great value for money. Yes, I've heard great things about Fengda. Uh, Never had the opportunity to try one. I'm a gallery man myself. Adrian Hook, how you doing, buddy? He says, evening, Mike and Moosey. Evening, afternoon, live long and prosper and all that good stuff. And model on. So for everybody who's showed up, Adrian, the subject for today, are cheap airbrushes actually worth it? Or do they cause more headaches than they're worth? What say you, Adrian? I was just getting ready to say that, Adrian. I did get your entry. You finally found it. People, I don't see what's so hard in finding my email. You guys are going to the Facebook group. You guys are going to the Facebook group looking for a email that's on the YouTube channel. Now, what sense does that make? But yes, Adrian, I did get your emails, got your entry, and you is all cool. You guys are in for a treat tomorrow. Well, maybe not on the video. It's not one of my better efforts, I'll put it that way. If you like to watch me struggle for 15 minutes with what it actually, I did over an hour worth of filming and got like 17 minutes worth of video out of it. So that shows you how bad it was. But if you like to see me struggle with photo etch for 15 minutes or so, that's your video. Little more cussing than last week's. Bernard Dye, how you doing, Bernard? Sorry, I was sitting in the empty lecture room next door with Michael Lombartino. I had to come back to your homepage and then click into the highlighted live icon. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jan says the no brand airbrushes are plain crap bullshit. Fit any bad word here, but I'd recommend Fengda any day. Two friends use them all the time. Once again, I've heard good things about Fengda. Adrian Hook says I have a Voilamart cheapy airbrush and my Jihad 68. Yeah, good airbrush there from Gallery. I use my cheapy for doing varnish and rough stuff, and my Jihad 68 for all the stuff that matters. Yep. Chet says, so you were playing with the purely evil parts. Well, yeah, that's what this build series is all about, remember? John Christmas sent me those models and one of them had the evil parts, and my challenge was to build a model with evil parts. And I'll let a little bit of the cat out of the bag here for tomorrow. I lost the challenge. Adrian says the devil's medal should be banned by the Geneva Convention. I agree. Just watch the video tomorrow. Jan says use PVA glue instead of CA glue on PE parts. That wasn't the problem on this. This had, well, you'll see tomorrow, but this had, hey John, this had a replacement floor for the cockpit that couldn't use it because parts got broke and everything, because it was sort of like Metal Earth. You had to stick a tab into a slot, and the tabs wouldn't fit into the slots. And then eventually I was sitting there trying to get them into the slots, and they just broke off. And these were the two parts where the seats sat on, so the whole damn thing was messed. It was just gone. But you'll see it tomorrow. Bernard says, I started with the cheap airbrushes that were pack-ins with my compressor. That's how I started. They're okay. I can prime, base coat, or spray mask areas fine. But they do seem to pick up dried paint on the needle easier. Yeah, that's called tip dry. Yeah, I mean, those cheapos seem to be great when you're using it for just the primer or varnishes, stuff like that. But you get into the main coats and it cannot be your workhorse. They cannot. They're just too inconsistent. Jan says, will do. I enjoy seeing other people struggle, although I prefer seeing them succeed. Oh, I'm going to succeed on this. It's just not that one part. Chet says tip dry is typically the type of paint than from the airbrush itself. True. John says, got two Fengda and never let me down, but I do like my Awada. Yeah. Like I've said, I've heard great things about Fengda, but man, I love my galleries. Love my galleries. And a tip, I found out I'm going to have to go in and clean out my nozzles on my Mobius and my Jihad 39, because that Windex cleaner that I did on my DIY cleaners video, somehow it had a reaction with something in there and clogged up those nozzles big time, because I'm getting air out but nothing through the nozzle. Bernard says, I managed to get one of those Iwata Eclipse brushes when Hobby Lobby was blowing them out and started using it. It's pretty nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Chet says acrylics are more notorious for tip dry than lacquer or enamel. Very true. Yeah, so I gotta find some way to unclog those. John says, I think everyone has their favorite airbrush, and if it works for you, then it's a good airbrush. Very true. Very true. It's like, oh boy, fish fly. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, fish fly. How's things in Arkansas? Walmart country. Since you just got here, the subject for today are cheap airbrushes actually worth it, or do they cause more headaches than they're worth? What say you, oh boy? We have 9 people watching right now. Wow, that's not quite a record, but it's damn good. Walmart is the devil. So is PE, John. Yes, Moosey. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah, you boo. All right. John says, don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, John. Yes. Hey, 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 hey. John says, PE is character building. Whatever you say, John. Chet says, Createx makes a product, 4008 Restore, and it will dissolve all dried paints. Not supposed to run through the brush, but soak the individual parts in it. 4008 Restore. I gotta write that down. Get my paper, my write down paper here. 4008 Createx. 4008. I'll look that up after and get it at Spray Gunner. What's your discount code is Billboard's 10 on that, isn't it? John says you will be pleased to know model I'm doing has PE. Well, good for you, John. Bubba's back. How you doing, Bubba? Hey, Mike, it's been a while. Probably don't remember me. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. How's school going? Oh boy, it says I do a lot of rattle can and brush. Still new to airbrush. Long live PE. Yeah, well, you go have it. Okay. Don't have a discount code for Spray Gun or just the affiliate link on the YouTube video descriptions. Okay. Bubba says, I've been good. It's been easy. Football is all done for me. So now back to modeling and working out. There you go. I've been rushing trying to get my Bristol Bulldog finished for the group build. Don't think I'm going to get my Huey helicopter done in time, no. Bernard says, I still use some rattle cans too. Can't beat the convenience. I just wish it wasn't so wasteful. So much of the paint goes to the filter, not the model. Very true. I have the same problem with rattle cans. That's why, well, that and they're mostly lacquer and enamel is another reason. But that's the reason why I only use them for priming. And I'm going to move on to the Kaleido primer probably now. Bubba says I started a Tamiya 135th Panther during the summer and I'm just starting back. Just started it again yesterday. John says, what do you think of the resin engine I sent you? I'm going to put you down. Let me see. I like it. I like it. I'm going to wait till I get to that model and try to figure it out. There's one problem with resin stuff. They don't come with any instructions. But I think, they're supposed to replicate the model part, so I could figure it out. Chet says I'm covered in Alclad black primer. It clogged up my Jihad 39. Had to tear it down and do a deep clean. Uh-oh. Bubba says, so what have I missed over the 3-ish months? Oh, let's see. Lots of stuff. Gonna have to go back. And another reason brush painting is superior. Well, that's your opinion, Bubba. I would much rather do airbrushing. Anytime, any day. Yeah, you missed how much I love PE parts. There you go, Bubba. Watch tomorrow's video. And don't watch it with any little kids. just put it that way. Bubba says, what do you mean my opinion? I'm 18, the smartest person in the world, and I'm invincible. Okay, whatever you say, Bubba. Whatever you say. Yep. Yeah, smartest person in the world, and you're invincible. Yeah, you're 18, all right. Wait till you're 60, Bubba. You'll look back and say, how stupid was I back then? Bernard says, do any of you use PE bending tools? I see those little table vise devices, but the affordable ones are always sold out. Well, I don't use PE bending tools because I usually don't use PE. They are like devil's tools. Lucy, hush. Bubba says, taking advice from people smarter than me and have real life experience, I hardly know her. Nice cover up for that fart. Okay. Chet says, I just received my new toy. Haven't opened it yet. It's the Gallery TG airbrush. Hmm. Yeah, that's not the new one. The new one is Venice, which, from what I heard, is very good. Very good. Oh boy says, when I was 15, I knew everything. Too bad my intelligence has been declining ever since. Yeah, yeah. John Christmas says, I've got one and it's great for bending tabs so they don't break off, Mike. LOL. No, the tabs are still there, were still there. The part itself where they bent broke. And then they had little rail like parts along the side of it, and those got bent in and broke. And oh, God, it was a mess. Yeah. So I lose the challenge. Oh well. But I'm not gonna stop building it. And I'm not gonna stop using the PE on it. Chet says the TG is the new trigger gun they offer. It has a wider spray pattern for painting car models than the Swallowtail. Okay, I know the one. Okay, I remember the one you're talking about now. Yeah, gallery's coming out with so many good new things. It's quite exciting. Bubba says, if I am to pick up an airbrush, which one would all you guys recommend? For you just starting out, Bubba, the gallery GHAD 39 would be perfect for you. Either that or a Fengda. One of the two. Chet says, I now have 5 different gallery airbrushes. I got 3. I got an El Cheapo that came with my little compressor kit. I got, hey, Moosey, enough. Got my GHAD 39 and my Mobius 3. Chet says, Bub, it depends on what you are building. John says, have ordered the metallic paint set, used your code, so hope it helps your channel in a small way. Thank you very much. It'll definitely help me out with gallery. And oh, Chet says also just got the metallic paint set. I'm gonna order that next month's check or the end of this month, maybe. I don't know. It depends how much I have left to the check after Christmas is over. Bubba says, I mainly will do tanks as those are my main focus. And of course, some naval vessels and planes will sit on my bench. Okay, cool. I would recommend Bubba says, not too sure how airbrushes will play into that. Easy. You got to do masking with airbrushing. You know, there's a lot of masking involved. You get those, especially on the hulls of ships, where you got maybe like light gold gray at the top, and then you got a black line, maybe some rust red at the bottom. You gotta make sure you mask off every line of those. Stephen Kessel, model on, Stephen. How's everything going in your world? Yeah, Bubba, I would recommend for you a GHAD 39 from Gallery. Yeah, listen to Chet. There you go. Because I totally agree with him. Chet says if you go with Gallery of Swallowtail or TG to do big areas, the GHAD 39 and 98 for majority of painting, and the Mobius and the Venice for fine details. Start with the Mobius, Bubba. A Venice is like $179 American. And that's for just the standard. If you get it personalized, it's another $100. So, yeah. Yeah, I'd start with Swallowtail, GH80 39, and Mobius 3. Because he can always move up from there. Chet says the Aventus is $279 for the tailor-made. Yep. Bubba says, noted. If I ever get to clear out a part of the garage and get the money from me, I'll probably get those all set up. But for now, I'm chilling with the good old brushes. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, Bubba. And Stephen, got to remind you, we're in the middle of holiday group build here on the channel. So if you're in the middle of a build, send me the box from that model. Send me the picture of that box. Send it to my email address. It's on the channel description. Don't go to the Facebook group. It's on the channel description here on YouTube. Okay, and send it to that email address. But yes, I did. I'll tell you about that too. But if you enter the group build, you have until the 15th of this month to get your model done. So, And that's also a reminder to everybody who hasn't got their model done yet. Uh, have your finished model pictures into my email address by the 15th. Okay, Stephen Kessel says I have a master airbrush. They have been around since the 60s when pinstriping was big. Cool. Bubba asked, did you get that model group thing started yet? Yes, I did. It's on Facebook. Just go on to Facebook, press the groups tab, and look for the Frugal Scale Modeler. Okay. Name of the group is a Frugal Scale Modeler. And yeah, and all you got to do if you want to join is answer 3 membership questions and agree to all the rules. And then when I check it out, I'll send you a message saying you can start posting. And Jan says, thanks for reminding me. Totally forgot. Yeah, you got to get that picture of that box to me too, Jan. Remember, the email address is on the channel description. Don't go to Facebook looking for it. It ain't there. Chet says, I'm currently building a 55 Chevy Gasser for a fake book channel that's due for Monday. Then I will finish my Pro Street GTX. Cool. Hey, enough. Bubba says, doing that now. Okay. Well, we're coming up on 45 minutes already. We've been hovering around 9 to 11 people in here. That's great. We're starting to grow. So have you graduated yet, Bubba, or is that in the spring? Bubba says, I've graduated high school. Cool, congrats. Just staying back for grade 13 for co-op. Okay. So you're going to go like a trade school instead of college? That works. Hey, nothing wrong with learning a trade. So, folks, it's right there about 45-minute point. So, you know what that means? That means it's time for the weekly middle of the live stream update on what's coming up on the channel. So, as I said, tomorrow, John, you'll get a kick out of this, and everybody else will. I recommend if you like seeing me struggle with photo etch and cussing here and there and throwing a fit, next video tomorrow's for you. That's all I'm going to say about it. Didn't get much done. Then Tuesday will be I'm going to start PE detailing the inside of the fuselage, and I'm going to PE and uh, decal the instrument panels and install them and install the cockpit, and hopefully have time to close up the fuselage. And then hopefully sometime during that time I'll get my gallery markers in. I'll sneak in a gallery marker review. Chat says, hopefully I nailed the paint on my gasser. It's red, white, and blue. If I don't screw it up, I may take it to Acme. Moosey, enough! Sorry, folks. Hopefully I nailed the paint on my gasser. It's red, white, and blue. If I don't screw it up, I may take it to Acme next year for the Stars and Stripes theme. Cool. Then Chet says, repeat after me, Mike. I will not repeat that. No, you can't make me. You can't make me. Says, hate PE. Okay, hate PE. There, hate PE. Yeah, I do feel better, Chet. Hate PE. Bubba, is PE that metal stuff? Yes, it is. It's it is manufactured in the middle of downtown hell. And it's made for people with horns growing out of their head. Oh boy says, don't worry, my dogs are barking from the other end. Yeah, probably got set off by Moosey. I don't mind it when he's barking. It's when he gets to that high pitched top of his lungs bark. Oh, that just bites right through me. John says you learned a valuable lesson, Mike. Be careful what you say on YouTube. Yeah, hate PE. Moosey. So, Chet says, just think if you stuck with model cars, only use PE on high end kits or for added detail. True. Or if I wouldn't have been stupid and done a damn live stream on PE, I wouldn't be in this mess. Michael says Moosey is doing his job. Yes, he is. He does it well. He does it very well. He's part hound, and he lets me know about it. Bubba says, I'm feeling dumb right now. How is the Schmuck Book group spelled? THE. Frugal. FRUGAL. Scale. SCALE. Modeler. MODLER. Oh, Modler. Your feelings dumb. Did you get it? Well, I'm sure you got it because I just got a notification that somebody asked to join the group. And I believe that was you, Bubba. Ah, okay. That was it. Yep, I wasn't putting in the. Okay. Yeah. First book's kind of picky about that. Okay, let me ask y'all a question about airbrushes. Which matters more to you? Precision, price, or durability? To me, it'd have to be durability because I don't do that much precision painting on my airbrushing. Chester says, Chet says, easy for you to say. Chet says, FYI, if you build the new Mobius comic kit, you will have to get PE from Model Scale Garage as one side comment is correct, opposite side is backwards. Remind me not to get that. Chet says for scale models durability. Yep, I'm with you on that. Bernard says durability. I don't do much precision painting either yet. Chet says for art, then you would need high-end brushes. Very true. But I've never been good at art. Stick figures, yes, I'm great. I'm great with stick figures. I'm Picasso with stick figures. Bubba says, figured I'd ask this here. What's with rule number 10? And can I post pictures of my models with some of my World War II German memorabilia collection? I'll censor the Swazis. Yes, I believe rule number 10 is no swastikas. That is, well, it's more of a Facebook thing than anything else. Uh, Facebook, if they see a swastika on any picture of a model, not only will they pull the post, they will pull your group. No questions asked. That is why no swastikas allowed. Because I don't want the group pulled, and there's about 11 other people who don't want the group pulled. Yeah, so if you put on German memorabilia, just fuzz out the swastikas. Yeah. Adrian says durability and longevity. Yep. That's what I mean. Bubba says no problem. Okay. Oh, yeah. Coming up on an hour already. Wow. This hour and a half's going faster and faster and faster every week. Wreck out on 30. Wreck out on 30. Uh, Good a time as any to remind you all that there will be no live stream over Christmas due to the fact that Christmas Day is on a Thursday this year. My bill and my cap here is all screwed up. Christmas is on a Thursday this year, which means Christmas Eve is Wednesday. Another day where you like to be with family and friends and can't do it on Tuesday because number one, that's a video taping day for me, and number two, I have an out of town doctor's appointment that day. So, no live stream over Christmas. Chet says, actual Confederate flag. They would think it's an early Union flag. Don't mess up their fee wings with the true history. Lucy, enough! Damn. Don't mess up their feelings. True history. Okay. uh, Here's another question for you. I bet none of you can answer this. What's the best thing about the cheap airbrush you've used? It was cheap. Price, yep. Price, it was cheap. Oh boy, says same here. Yes, sir. We're real close to an hour into here. And Chet, you know what we do at the hour mark, don't you? It's time to talk about Thursday night football. Moosey, don't start. And tonight we have the Cobwebs against the Lions. Oh boy says also help me with my sailor's vocabulary. There you go. Try PE. That'll help you some more. Did me? Bernard says could be a good game tonight. Yeah, especially the way that Detroit's been playing. I don't know what's up with them. I have no idea. The Cobwebs, they're just too inconsistent for me to trust them. But then again, Detroit's not exactly a juggernaut this year either. Bubba says I'm already losing my mind with the rubber tracks. I don't need any PE. The only PE I like is the one you do at school. There you go. Chet says, I do like my Pache H. It's a very easy airbrush, great for beginners, doesn't clog too easy, easy to clean, but can't feather paint. Hmm. Yeah, I've heard good things about Pache too. Pache, Fenda, and Gallery. If you're looking to get into airbrushing, those are the three. Those are the three I'd go for. Chet says, I'm rooting for the Cowgirls. Can't stand them, neither can I. Oh, I don't mind the team. It's the owner I can't stand, but want Beagles to be eliminated. Well, it seems the Beagles are doing a good enough job of eliminating themselves lately. They just lost to the Bears last week, but then again, the Bears are number one seed in the NFC all of a sudden. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl, the Bears, but they're number one seed right now in the NFC. Chet says Pache H is single action. Don Yost, a great builder that was what he always used, and his paint was awesome. If you want great tips, look up his videos. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. Don Yost. One good thing about YouTube is once you pass away, your videos are still there. And they always will be. uh, yeah. Michael says Michael told you to look him up about a month ago. Bernard says your videos are still there after you die. You are immortal, Mike. God no. God no. Yeah, I remember you telling me to look them up, and I probably got them written right here somewhere. Or I probably wrote it down on one of my live stream outlines, which are in the folder. Oh, let's see here. Chet says one thing I got from Don's videos was using scalpel blades over X-Acto blades for bare metal foil and always using a new blade each time. Yeah. Michael says Fundamental Friday. That's Don Yost. Fundamental Friday. And the thing I've noticed, Chet, is scalpel blades really don't cost that much more than X-Acto blades. But Chet, don't you have to have a special handle for scalpel blades? John says, love my scalpels. Don't you have to have a special handle? Oh, okay, Jan. Calling it a day. Internet is acting up. Jan, don't forget to enter that model in the group build. See you next week. Chet says yes and no, meaning that. John says, yeah, I got 3 handles for different size blades. Okay. Bubba says, what models are you guys working on? Well, me, I'm finishing up. Oh, Chet says, the scalpel handle is cheap, but Don Yost would cut the end off to fit an X-Acto handle. Huh. Okay. Back to Bubba's question. I'm working on a 148 scale not British Bulldog. I'm thinking WWF all of a sudden. Bristol Bulldog for my group build. And then I'm also working on a Metal Earth Huey helicopter kit. That's what's on my bench. And then on the channel, I'm in the middle of a PE challenge nightmare. Building a de Havilland Tiger Moth 148 scale. Compliments of Mr. John Christmas. Thank you, John, once again for the kits and for the nightmare of PE. Okay, Adrian says scalpel handle about 250 and pack of 10 blades 250. Okay. Chet says only non-dog bulldog I know is a Mack truck. Yep. Yep. I would expect that from you, Chet. Here's a good question for y'all. I'm looking forward to hearing your answers to this. What was your worst experience with a cheap airbrush? I've got a cheap airbrush in that bottom drawer over here. My rolling cart cost me $15. Well, 15 or $20 when I first came back to modeling. And Chet says, "What was that? My phone sent an alert as you were talking." Oh, I asked a question. What was your worst experience with a cheap airbrush? And I'm telling you mine. This damn thing, this cheap $15 airbrush, worked great with my little bitty box compressor that I bought. Bought them both as a set for $40, and and all of a sudden, I pull the pull the trigger back, just got bubbles up my color cup. And you know what that means? That means you gotta. Chet says cheap Amazon airbrush and master airbrush spitting. Bubba says he buys something cheap, you pay for it twice. Yep. Chet says clog. Yep. And this thing, and the thing is, I tried and I tried and I tried to unclog that damn nozzle, and nothing doing. Nothing doing. I don't know where the clog's at. Bubba says it's expensive to be poor. Yes, it is. Very, very expensive. That's why you got channels like mine to help you get around that little problem. Michael says, I'm working on a 67 Impala lowrider and a 1960 Chevy pickup. Chet says it's expensive to eat healthy also. Very true. That's why we all look the way we do. I can eat healthy if I wanted to. I just think crappy foods taste better. If it tastes good, it's not good for you. That's the whole thing. Oh boy says my problem is finding water-based paint that both the airbrush and I like. Try that new Gallery Kaleido series. It's excellent. I did a review on it on my channel. Should check it out. I did it like a month ago, if that long ago. But try those out. I highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. And I'm not saying that just because I'm associated with Gallery. I say that because I totally believe it. As a matter of fact, I just used my Kaleido gloss varnish on my Bristol Bulldog today. They do say sell individual colors. I gotta set you down, Bushy. They do sell individual colors, and depending on what line you get them from, they have metallic, they have primary colors, they have mecha colors, and they have auto colors. And depending on what line they're from, the bottle is from, you'll pay either $3.50 to $4 a bottle for 20 milliliters. Can't beat the price. And if you buy them from gallery website, you can either put in Chet's discount code or my discount code at checkout, get 10% off. Chet's discount code is Billboards Builds. Mine is MW Mike, all capital letters, all one word. Chet says, I'm currently working on a 55 Chevy Gasser, a 69 GTX Pro Street, a Corvette, a 49 Ford Pro Stock, a 69 Camaro USAC build, excuse me, 37 Ford pickup for the Saturday Night Live, a Challenger waiting on decals. Wow. Yeah, you like to stay busy, Chet. That's for sure. Damn. We're rapidly coming up on the. That's a car lot. Yeah. Would you buy a car off of this man? Bubba says all at once, Chester. John says, currently working on 35 figures. Yeah, you're working on that huge ass diorama, aren't you, John? Oh, Chet. Oh, by the way, a Porsche rally car. Wow. Now, if I remember right, Chad, every damn one of those is for a group build, isn't it? Or close to it. Oh, okay. Chet says, not a Porsche, it's a Lancia Stratus. My mistake. And then he says, yep, every damn one of them is for a group build. Bernard says, I recently finished my 1970 Dodge Challenger and a 1965 Chevy step-side truck. The step-side or Revell went together pretty well. I'll get back to the group build as soon as some paint comes in. Cool. Oh boy says, might as well throw in a mid-70s big block swinger. Why not? Chat says, plus about another 10 more group builds not started yet, including the one I'm hosting that looks like only me doing. Bubba says, yes, I'm retired. How can you tell, Chester? Chad, have you got that group build on your channel? So I'll look it up. I might join in if that's okay with you. Chet says my 72-hour group build is 90% built. Had to put it away. Too busy with the other stuff? Well, there you go, Chet. What's the link, Chester? You got at least two more entries. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Bark for him, Lucy. Mama's. Oh. Lucy. Ding. I'm back. Okay. Okay, John says, what's the link, Chester? Chat says, my YouTube channel is Billboards Builds. John says, we'll have a look after this. Bubba says, can't tell what's worse, having to build all of Chester's kits or building that giant meters-long Gustav Cannon model kit that what's-his-face owns. Michael says, busy time of year, getting ready for my model railroad open house on weekends. The next few weeks should be expecting a couple hundred people. Cool. Bubba says, just subscribe, Chester. John says, you mean my 135th Dora railway gun? Yep. Chet says, my 72-hour build, I broke some parts and screwed up the decals. A Salvino's Junior models NASCAR Next Gen was not the best choice for a short time frame, having never done one. Bubba says, yes, John, I meant that. Chet says, thanks, Bubba. All right. Caught up. It's just about time for me to start wrapping this bad boy up, put a bow on it. Gonna put up the Christmas tree and wrap presents this weekend. Yay! And then Saturday, I'm gonna sit back, drink me some Mist and Sevens, and watch number 1 Ohio State take on number 2 Indiana for the Big Ten football championship. and the number one seed in the college football playoff. Big game, big game. That's on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. on Fox, if anybody's wondering. Number one against number two in the country. Should be a good one. Chet says, I'm doing the Hawaiian Tropics car in the primer gray version that became a Monte Carlo from my Cannonball Run 1 and 2 build. John says, subscribe to channel, Chester. There you go. You got 2 more subs. There you go, Chet. Plus, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check your channel, and unless you want to tell me now, real quick, how to enter your group build before I start putting a bow on this. So, Chet, tell me real quick how to enter your group build. Leave it on there before I go so I can write it down. Oh, okay. Cannonball 1 and 2. Okay. And you can link me. Okay. All right. I'll do that. Any time frame for it? When is it supposed to be done? So it's hour 27 in. It's time for me to start putting a bow on this. So, I guess we discovered that cheap airbrushes do have their place. It all depends where you're at in your modeling journey. Okay. Want to thank you. Moosey, I'm trying to talk here. I want to thank you all for participating today. And as usual, if you like what you've seen, press like and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget about the Frugal Scale Modeler group. This is for the people who are watching at a later time. Don't forget about the Frugal Scale Modeler group. Go on Facebook, go to the group homepage, answer 3 questions, and agree to the group rules, and you're in. Gallery discount. On the live stream, I promote 2 gallery discounts, one for Chet and one for myself. Chet's discount code is Billboards Builds. Mine is MW Mike, all capital letters, all one word. Both are worth 10% discount at checkout. Holiday group build. Remember, if you haven't already, get your completed model pictures in to my email address by the 15th of this month. Next 3 videos are going to be more fun with me bitching through my way through PE, unless my gallery markers come in. Then I'm going to sneak in a review of those. So that's all that's coming up on the channel. And let's catch up on the last little bit of chats. Bernard says, take care, Mike. We'll check out the video tomorrow. Thank you, Bernard. We'll see you later. John says, looking forward to having a good laugh tomorrow, Mike. Yep, okay. See you later, John. Ah. Chet says, I won't laugh tomorrow at you struggle and my eyes are brown. Yep. Yes, I know you're going to laugh like hell, you little bastard. So, hey, y'all, take care. We'll see you next week. And hey, if nothing else, enjoy, have a good laugh at the video tomorrow. That's about all it's good for. So, uh, Adrian says, nice one, Mike. Very enjoyable. Looking forward to the PE experience tomorrow. You're the only one. So, y'all know what we say around here. Say it with me. Never stop pushing your modeling boundaries. With that being said, we'll see you later. Bye.